Welcome to the Cancer Support Show. My name is Rick Hill and I'll be your host along with Dr. Francisco Contreras, and this is the Cooking with the Doctor Show. Today what we're going to do is talk about every day. In other words, as you know, I've been alive for 38 years since your father treated me. And the challenge with this diet, you can probably give us fill in the cracks here. But for me, the challenge with this diet is how do you stay consistent for 38 years? I mean, anybody can be a hero once or twice.
Exactly.
But 3 times a day and always making the right decision. Well, you know I have not always made the right decision, but I have mostly. So, for example, I get up in the morning and I usually have a slice of gluten-free toast. We showed you the gluten-free products earlier. And maybe a piece of fruit or two. But in the beginning, I didn't eat much fruit because of the high glycemic index. And then I make every day for the whole family this giant salad. And today, we are going to put a giant salad in here and show you how to dress it up. But long about Friday, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, you change the dressing, you do a little different stuff. But along about Friday, I'd like a little piece of organic chicken in that, you know? So I'm going to show everybody how to make that organic chicken without using oil, without frying it in grease, at a safe way to do it. So what we're going to do, we have our electronic cooktop here. Pull that out so you can see it. This is magnetic, actually. And this is a magnetic pan that we showed you in our earlier. We're going to take a break in a minute and show you a little bit more about that cookware. But this cooks like twice as fast. Mm-hmm. So everything we do, we want it to be cost effective, delicious, organic, and quick. Because, yes. I mean, who's got the schedule you've got? I mean, it amazes me that you can be here. You're running a hospital down the street. I'm running a cooktop. A little
but
different.
You know, Rick, this is so important because food is such a big part of our lives, and it's a major part of the therapy. So we're using food to help you combat your cancer, but also life has to be interesting and has to be fun. There's another element to food that's very important, and it's the communication that you give your body as far as what you are giving it. And certainly there are sacrifices. But if you're communicating to your body 3 times a day that you're willing to make a sacrifice to help you out, your body in turn is going to respond better to whatever else you do. So it's important that you try to be as strict as possible, but also to enjoy life. And that is why I agree totally with Rick that we need some breaks. What's important is what we do most of the time.
Most of the time, Monday through Friday.
Because, you know, we have to breathe. Yeah. And if you would be a purist, well, you know, the air that we are now exposed to, we shouldn't breathe it. We shouldn't even breathe it. Or the clothes that we're wearing. So let's not exaggerate in everything, but let's be responsible and let's enjoy life.
And isn't that kind of the hallmark you and your dad had? He was a smart enough guy to know that if he set up such a stringent program, no one would do it.
Exactly.
And he would lose these patients left and right because they'd get home and get discouraged. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of the Cancer Support Show is to give you at home ideas on how to be safe, how to be excited when you get out of bed in the morning, how to, what you say, send a message to your body for health.
Yes.
Everything on this table, everything I'm going to put in this salad is good for you.
Now, I want to give you also a message. There's basically 2 types of people. People that are black and white, mm-hmm. and that could be very happy being completely vegan and enjoy life. If you have cancer and you can be like that, it's okay. For the rest of us that are in the scales of gray and white, yep. That we need something to enjoy life a little bit better, a break like this is very important as well.
That's right. And your dad told me, eat 80% of your diet raw and uncooked if you can. Mm-hmm. And I did. But what we're talking about on this show is we're teaching you how to handle the 20% without poisoning the pond.
Exactly.
I didn't go out on a day that I wanted a treat and have a McDonald's hamburger. I wouldn't do that. But we'll show more about that. Now today, we're going to start by having a very small chicken cutlet. And I want to point out here that this is organic, free-range chicken, farmed and raised without antibiotics.
Sustainable, probably.
That's
the word,
it.
huh?
Sustainably
Yes.
farmed. And this is a good piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the sink and wash these cutlets. But I wanted you to know what I was putting in the pan so that you knew that I was not going to poison either Dr. Contreras or me either. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now I've got my chicken cutlets cleaned. And this is our waterless, greaseless cookware. What we're going to talk about here is guilt-free fried chicken. And I know what you're thinking. Fried chicken, Oasis of Hope, those two things are mutually exclusive. I know what you're thinking. What am I getting into? But I'm going to take the lid off here. Our pan has been preheated. And I'm going to take this chicken cutlet. And I want you to listen to this when I put it down, because you're going to hear.
Wow.
Did you hear that? Now, what's the first thing you think that will do?
Burn it.
Or stick to the skillet. Mm-hmm. And it will. Now I've got paper towels stuck to it. That'll just protein. Now what I'm going to do is put that on an angle. And then when the natural juices from this chicken get drawn out. Remember we talked about that in an earlier version. When the natural juices from the chicken get drawn to the surface and caramelize, that's what's going to give us our crust, not grease and oil. Uh-huh. And when that happens, it releases the chicken. Otherwise, I couldn't peel it off there right now. When it forms the crust, it releases the chicken and you can flip it over and do the other side.
So very similar to what happens with the vegetables.
Exactly the same thing. Exactly.
The same principle.
If you put oils in there to fry it, you're clogging the pores of that chicken, and when you taste it, it tastes good. But what you're going to taste is that fried oil. Mm-hmm. And the natural goodness of the chicken won't be released. So as we learned from the French cooking, the mirepoix, they did not want to coat those vegetables in oil because the natural goodness didn't come out, and in fact, the flavor was changed. Okay?
And this is going to be accompanied by
Okay.
a lot of vegetables.
That's right. What we're going to do is we're going to make some in the skillet here. But we have the O brand. And now what we're going to do is we are going to fill this pan. This is one of our, with corn. And then we're going to take some peas. And put those in there. Now normally, if you filled this pan with water with peas on one side and corn on the other side, what's going to happen? You're going to get soup if you put water in there.
Correct. Yeah, you're going to get.
And the flavor from one would affect the other. Am I right?
Yes.
What you're going to see here is that does not happen. In other words, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over to the sink and I'm going to rinse these vegetables and then I'm going to dump the water out. And that's the only water that's going to be in there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do this from the start so that you knew that we weren't fudging. So we're just going to take some water. Okay, now that's the way most people make it. And then I'm going to take this lid. So I've dumped it out. I got the peas on the one side and the corn on the other side. And one is not going to affect the other with flavor. And when you taste the difference, when you at home see the color difference after this cook, so I'm going to put our other cook stove on, and watch this. I'm going to put it on 3. This is on what?
On 6.
So we're twice as much heat here. 3 is very low. We're going to make sure that the cooktop is closed. I'm going to do one other thing. This is an organic egg. In fact, I showed you the carton on the last show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plop that egg right there. That egg is going to be lighter, fluffier. That green, around the yolk that you see, that's because it's been overcooked. And this is going to take about half the time that normally would take to do it. So then what I'm going to do is put some peas and corn in the salad. I've got some eggs already hard-boiled, and when I cut those, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to put that in there. We got walnuts. We've got fresh avocado. We've got all the things that we're going to be chopping here. So let's get started. Look at that. And that is, do you see how it released?
Yes.
Okay. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to flip it and do the other side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build a salad here. And we're going to use good stuff. We're not going to use crummy stuff. For example, we have organic romaine hearts. And these I got at Vaughn's, or Safeway as the company is called. And I'm just going to put a light chop on this. I'm not going to do anything special to it. Normally I wouldn't use a knife when I'm doing lettuce, but since we're going to be eating it in the next 20 minutes.
What do you normally use?
I just tear it up with my hands because if I put this back in the refrigerator, it'll last about half as long because I cut it. Just the way it is. So we put that in there. And we got quite a few people hanging around to watch this show, so I'm going to get another one out of here.
Now, one of the things that I would like to mention is, of course, I'm thinking that you are addressing the U.S. culture, the American culture, and so these type of vegetables are very common in your diet. But you can choose any other type of vegetable that probably has a lot more nutritional value than what we're using.
What would you pick?
Well, I would pick probably broccoli over, and because it has a lot more phytochemicals, and the other one is asparagus.
We could have done both of those.
Yes.
In fact, we'll do it on the next show.
Excellent.
Okay.
Because the corn is a good food, but it has a very high glycemic index. But again, we're talking about this as a treat.
Yep.
Once a week.
This is Friday.
And exactly.
Yep.
You can be a little bit more flexible. But for instance, the type of lettuces that you're using here are very good. They have a very high pH. They're alkaline. And that's very good for our diet.
So again, we have organic, and this is a mix of spring mix and baby spinach. Now, people look at it and say, man, this guy's dragging everything out of packages. It's got to be fast. What I learned over the years is that even if you're eating right, if it takes forever to prepare, you'll do it for a month.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
In the second month, you go, honey, I don't know, I gotta work.
If you want to be a purist, for instance, with Gerson diet, it takes 8 hours of your day to prepare the meals, and so what's left?
Who's gonna do it?
Yeah.
I had a guy on the phone yesterday calling some of the patients, just visiting with them, and he said the same thing to me. I said, are you on a good diet? He said, I'm trying, man. I said, what diet are you on? He said, well, I got the Gerson book. I said, that's an excellent diet. They really knew what they were doing. How's it going?
Exactly.
He said, I don't seem to be able to keep up with it. He said, I'm gonna have to hire somebody. Tell us about cheese. Good, bad? I mean, it's organic, but how often, how much?
Cheese, it's a product, a dairy product, and it has a lot of high quality protein. And so I would limit the amount of cheese that you have during the week to probably 1 time a week, maybe 2 times a week.
You are going to absolutely love what this does. Now we're going to want some, let's see, let's go with some apples.
Oh, that's going to give it a
apple and
wonderful
carrot.
taste.
So what we have here is an apple core, and then we're going to peel that. So let me core this apple.
Now that's one of the best parts of the of the apple, what are you going to do?
Well, I know what I did for years and years and years.
Exactly.
Now tell them what I'm eating and why.
Well, the seeds are probably the most important element in fruits to consume. Did you know, Rick, that when monkeys are healthy, they eat the pulp of fruits? When they're sick, they throw away the pulp. They throw away the pulp and they only eat the seeds. Because somehow God gave them the information that within the seeds, you will find all of the nutrients, especially medical nutrients.
So what's in an apple seed?
Well, the apple seeds have what is called amygdalin. It's a chemical that will release cyanide. And people are afraid of cyanide. But without cyanide, and the reason why God put cyanide in about 400 different type of foods is because without cyanide we would die. Cyanocobalamin is the chemical name for vitamin B12.
Cyanide.
And without cyanide, we cannot produce vitamin B12. So you will find that in all seeds except for citrus foods.
No kidding. Yeah,
And
they don't have that.
They don't have
that flavor.
The amygdalin. So that's why it's so important for all of us to eat seeds. Okay? So whenever you have an apple like that, eat the seeds. Grapes, the seed from grapes are wonderful as well.
Okay. So what we're going to do is take the apple and we're going to put it skin side that way. And when we use the grater,
wonderful.
Watch what happens. Can I get a new one and ah from the crowd? In other words, it peels your apple, and it'll peel celery like that. It'll peel just all kinds of things. I had a bowl I could put that in. So we're going to set several of those.
Watch the fingers. We don't want any fingers in the
Isn't that
salad.
nice? So that's about all
wonderful.
the apples we're going to want in that celery, or in that salad. Now we have organic carrots. So let me show you the bag. Again, this is the O brand. And for a lot of this, it's actually not more expensive now than the stuff that's not organic. It used to be it was like 3 times the price, yes, years ago. But I absolutely priced this the other day. And this was within 30 cents of the non-organic brand.
I have some friends that produce now all organic vegetables, and that's what we use at the hospital. And they are telling me now that the production now, because of compost and all of the things that they do to do the organic food, is cheaper than the conventional way of growing vegetables.
So they're saving and making more money.
Yes. Now, for instance, in California, you have services where you call and they have farms, and they will actually come and deliver the organic food to your house. I don't know where you live if you have that, but it's quite cheap now to eat organically and fresh.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, this thing makes it so easy. What I do is what I call my Sunday night prep work. And what I mean by that, so it took the skin off like that. What I mean by that is Sunday night, I do a bag of cheese, I do a bag of carrots, I do a bag of apples. I mean, big bags. And then all week long, when I'm making my salads, fast, I can make this. We would have been done by now and halfway eating it, except I'm trying to illustrate some points here. So now we've got some organic walnuts, and we're just going to sprinkle those in. Now these eggs were cooked the same way that one is. What do you think, 2 for the salad, 3,
Yeah.
2? Okay. But I want you to see something really nice. Can you see around here, Alan? Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Do you see a green ring around the yolk?
Not at all.
You know why? We're not cooking it to death. And the flavor difference is dramatic. We make egg salad with Best mayonnaise, that's a gluten-free brand. And it just makes a terrific difference when we're cooking and eating. So I'm just going to throw those in there so that we don't overcook the stuff and scorch it and kill it. And when we microwave things, people are always asking me, what do you think of microwaving? It's 400 degrees. That's what I think of microwaving. 400 degrees kills everything.
Yeah, we did a very interesting study with microwaving, and even when you use it at a very low grade, after 4.5 minutes, all protein is completely destroyed. So if you have a microwave, my recommendation is that you only use it for warming up your water. Virtually, that's about it. Maybe, warming up some food, but you will destroy the protein value anything after 4 minutes.
Now tell a little bit more about color.
Well, colors are very important, and you're watching here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, and now 6 colors. The color of food is determined by the combination of nutrients. And so when you eat many colors, you then have a broad spectrum of nutrients. So in this salad, you're covering just about all of the bases of the nutrients that we need.
Now we have celery, organic, certified, but I chopped it ahead of time. So this is that, but I just chopped it because it didn't use anything that is interesting except the knife and me going. It's just not television worthy. So we're going to put in another color.
Another color, yes.
Are you getting excited?
This is looking very good. I'm not getting excited, I'm getting hungry.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to change cones. That was a number 2, and we're going to put on a number 5, which is the waffle cut. And what's nice about the waffle cut is that you can do, by the way, let me show you carrots with a waffle cut, because if you're eating naturally salads 6 days a week, sometimes you think it tastes a little different if you just change the shape. People that are facing, see the nice cut?
Oh, okay.
Huh? Is that nice?
Very nice.
Voila. It gives you a nice waffle cut. And then let me show you here, we can take a nice cucumber. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I got this from the Oasis of Hope Hospital. I bought one at Vaughn's and brought it back here, and it just wasn't the quality that I was looking for. So I went over and stole one out of your refrigerator.
Those are organic, and they come from those places that I told you in Cabo.
Okay.
Near Cabo San Lucas.
I would be happy to do all the shopping here. I just don't know my way around yet. But I can fix that in a hurry.
But I think, being practical with information that you give people is something that they can do at home.
Yeah. Okay, watch
Not
this.
everybody has the capability of getting, organically grown food directly from the producer, as we do.
Check that. And by the way, what is it doing, ladies and gentlemen? Peeling. And you got these, do you smell that fresh? Taste one of those. I mean, it is just absolutely fresh.
This is really good.
So what I'm showing you is that we're building a king-size salad here that is just delicious, organic.
Now, the reason why we should eat vegetables in different colors is very important. God has made different formulations for different vegetables, and the colors depict the type of formulation that God made for them. So the spectrum of nutrients will vary tremendously from color to color. And if you want to have a very broad spectrum of nutrients being ingested, you diversify the number of colors. So my recommendation is that in general you combine 5 different colors of vegetables, and in this way you will have a very, very broad spectrum of nutrients. And remember that nutrients control all of the functions in our body. It's very important that we consume a very large amount of nutrients. And what am I talking about nutrients? Well, there are the vitamins, the phytochemicals, the minerals, all of which are extremely important for our metabolism to be 100% working for us.
And if you build something like that, they will come. People will eat it. So let me show you a couple more things. You like avocado, Doc?
I love it. My
right.
favorite food.
So we got an avocado here. And what we're going to do is slice that baby. There you go.
Avocado is wonderful. Avocado is one of the very few foods that increases our production of the anti-insulin hormone that our body produces. So if there are some foods here that are high glycemic index or medium glycemic index, this completely neutralizes. It produces glucagon, which is so it balances the production of insulin completely, and so I would encourage you to consume quite a bit of avocado.
Okay, what you're seeing here on the lid, watch what happens. All right, can I get a new one or not? Watch what happens with that lid. In other words, it's riding on a cushion of air which seals that top. So what you have here is like a little rainforest. That's why it cooks so fast and so well. It's on number 3, and this thing is squealing like a... And look at this. All right, I'm going to shut that off. That does not smell like normal vegetables.
No, it smells really wonderful.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, could you get me a spoon and let me... Are you going to come on set? No? Yeah, she can come on set.
Of course.
Would you like to introduce this beautiful woman?
Not only are we going to have good food, we're going to have a beautiful girl helping us. She's my daughter. Number 1.
Thank you.
Because she was born first.
Oh.
I'm number
Because
1
if the other,
anyway.
Yeah, my
otherwise
son,
the other ones are going to be jealous.
my son, who was born second, says, Dad, is there any photographic evidence at all that I was ever born? Because, the first baby, you take, oh, look, she's breathing.
Of course, I know.
And I'm not going to put butter in them. Don't mix them together because I want you to be able to taste them independently.
Oh, independent.
Yeah. So try a spoonful of the peas first. Try and see if you can grab some peas out of there. Can you tell the difference?
This
Now.
is very good.
I got a surprise for you.
Oh, wow.
Smell that. Now look at the color. This is organic, cooked in low water. This is what you get in the store. The Contreras family has definitely voted, and they like radishes. So what I've done is I've loaded some here and put this on for a bin. And what we're going to do, isn't that nice? And those come out in a little crinkle cut.
I love it.
The skins come
That
off.
looks so nice.
I know.
I'm going to throw the rest of these in there.
Plus, it looks beautiful.
You know,
Yes.
when people sit down to this salad, they're wowed just by the physical appearance of it. It just looks so nice. So now we're going to pull that off. And we are going to, let me just check, make sure I got, avocados in there. Okay. I
think you were right. That's too big of a salad for 2 eggs.
You want more eggs?
I think so. It's
All
too
right.
big.
All right, what we're going to do is, do you want to do this? I'll
Yes,
trade
of
places with you. If you could peel those and set them on top. I want to show you something. I want to show you how that egg came out of the pan. Except that it's so hot that tears are coming to my eyes. I got to let that cool. You know what I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'm going to set it in some water.
And do you dress it with some olive oil or?
I do. And
Right.
we're going to put the dressing on, although here's what everyone is saying to me. You don't need much dressing on that salad.
No, but you don't.
Because they're all those fresh
Oh,
ingredients mixed together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this chicken out of the stove, the pan. Should we cut up one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that was in there 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
15 maybe? Now, I want you to
Plus, it
taste.
looks really juicy too.
All right, now, Dr. Contreras, Dad, is going to be telling us about seasoning. How much, when, why is it good for you? For this is, I think you like this, lemon
I
pepper.
love the lemon pepper. It's amazing.
I just use a little bit of lemon pepper and a little bit of salt. Again, sea salt.
And so you don't have to season or marinate anything because of the way it cooks.
Right. This is guilt-free. I'm going to cut you. You want guilt-free fried chicken? Do you know you cut over 1,000 calories out when you do it this way?
Wow.
So what we're going to do is we're going to. I keep the store. I should buy stock when I'm buying organic meat because I buy it all at once and I freeze it.
Of course.
Now, some people don't like to do that, but since I'm only doing the meat like once a week. Now, is there enough seasoning on there for you?
Yes.
No?
It's great.
Yeah.
Tell me the truth.
It's great.
Perfect.
Okay. Leave that or no? I can put
Well,
that in.
how many of us are there?
Well, we're going to have
5?
about 6 adults.
Eat it.
And how often are we doing this?
Once a week.
Okay.
Once a week.
Throw that out. In fact, I'll trade places with you, and you can cut that up for me. Here's what I'm going to show everybody. You're thinking, yeah, you got this fancy cookware, but look, who wants to clean that up? Yes?
Uh-huh.
All right, watch. I'm just going to put a heat under it again. And when I see the juices that are naturally there, well, you could make gravy. In our next show, we're going to make gravy.
Mm-hmm.
But once it begins, now look how fast. You see the
Yeah.
steam coming up? How long was that? 20 seconds? 30
Yeah,
seconds?
probably.
Look,
Yeah, it's all ready.
that's that magnetic cooktop with the magnetic. All right, watch this. And I had a whisk once upon a time, and I still do. That is deglazing, yes? Now, because this is stainless steel, it's very hot, or hard, excuse me, and hot. And so because it's so hard, the pan just deglazes. If I'm going to wash it further, which I do, of course, I take it over by the sink, and I use, what's it called, Barkeeper's Friend. It is a very mild type of detergent that will keep your pans looking new forever. This, ladies and gentlemen, was cooked at low heat.
Oh, look at
Not
that.
quite done, but do you see the, and it's perfectly good to eat that way.
No green
No
whatsoever.
green, it's not overcooked. I'm telling you, it makes a difference when you make egg salad. You don't get that, what's that chemical smell that sometimes egg?
Sulfuro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
like
English. In
sulfur.
sulfur.
Yeah.
Sulfur.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a beautiful harvest salad with a little bit of egg and chicken for 6 adults. And what we're going to do is finish it with some of those vegetables that we cooked. And so I like to just sprinkle them on. And what you want to do is just eat them out of the pot.
I know. My mouth is like
It's-
watering.
They are good,
They're
but they're
good.
just as good when they're in the salad. And then next week we're going to have asparagus and
And-
cauliflower. Is that what you were?
Or broccoli.
Oh, broccoli. Asparagus and broccoli. Okay. So we'll set that aside. And we need to season it. So a little lemon pepper. Tell me when. And a little salt. Go ahead.
Salt, some good.
Virgin
Salt,
olive oil,
salt.
extra virgin.
Extra virgin.
For you that don't know what's virgin and extra virgin is the first press.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Anything after that is virgin. Gives it a little bit more
Are you like
taste.
tingling all over?
Mmm.
Okay, so I'm going to let you do a little mix on this. I'll trade places with you. Then we're going to plate this. And I want some oohs and ahs. That is one big salad.
Well, we don't know, right? It's so good that.
You can bag
But
it.
that, that's the way your plate should look. A lot of vegetables and a little bit of animal protein. If you take into consideration, I think we mentioned it before, the ratio of our teeth. It's only 4 canine teeth to 34 teeth, so it's just a little bit over 10%. So 90%, almost 90% of your food should be vegetables, and 10% should be protein.
Okay, are you done talking so we can eat?
Yep.
Can we eat now?
Right.
That looks so good.
Make sure you get them a little bit of the egg, a little bit of the chicken. We got a slice of avocado going on that plate.
Just wonderful.
These cooktops here will absolutely not heat the kitchen at all. And you can have them on 6 hours, 8 hours, and it will not change the temperature of the room. And you can touch them. I mean, it's just amazing.
Gourmet food.
There it is. All right, we're going to take a break and get set up for the next meal. Worth having, huh? Now remember, you don't put that protein in every salad if you've newly been treated. But once a week, it is just a rare treat.
Right now, I have not tasted the chicken nor the egg, and it's amazing, just like that.
So on behalf of the Oasis of Hope and the Cancer Support Show, we'll be back in a few minutes with another organic fresh meal.